Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. This is a brand new one. This is one of Natalie May's brand new collage papers called Independent Women. These images are just beautiful. I love the colours in them. When I play with images like this, I often like to see if I can colour match to the colours that are in the image already. So you can see I'm using a water brush to tear the collage paper just to get it some of that white off the edges. This just stops it having that kind of harsh cut line really on the edge, so it's a nice way to remove the excess from the collage paper. So I'm going to just cut this down so it'll fit across my page. I'm going to pop it in the centre of my page, kind of deciding where to go. I knew that I wanted to play with extending this image and just kind of playing with the brush strokes that are on this. So I kind of like the painterly look that this image has got. And straight away when I look at it, I can kind of see which colours I'm going to use from Dina Wakley's line. This is Dina's gel medium, which I'm using to stick the image in. So you pop some on your page and then brush over the top of it, and it will help it to seal onto your page, and then you can kind of work onto the top of it more easily. I didn't put any white paint on the background because it's got quite warm tones in this image. I knew that the craft background wasn't really going to impact how this image looked on the page, and it glues in so beautifully. So now this is where the fun starts, to start and select paint colours that are going to work with this image. So this is peacock. I've also grabbed marine and turquoise. I'm going to start off by just pulling some of these paint strokes down the side of the page. I'm keeping the paint stroke look. I'm not going to go with blending. I want that to look like that so that it then marries with the image that's already there. And I'm just kind of working on pulling some of those paint marks up to the top and bottom on both sides of the image, and trying to bring that image to connect with the top and bottom of the page. And you can see being very deliberate with my brush strokes and leaving those kind of paint marks. So this is a really easy way, really, to kind of take your cue from the way that the image looks already. So my marine paint has gone a little bit thick, so I've had to kind of pull the lid off. And now I'm just going to over paint with the colour that I've already added. I'm going to go in with marine and just do some brush marks over the top. So I'm going to start to create that kind of layered effect and start to push the layers back that are already there. And this is how you can build the interest, really. It's with an image like this, it's kind of fun to just play with, starting to add more colours to build up the depth. And you can see at the minute I'm not worrying about the centre of the image, I'm just concentrating on these two sides. And then I think I'm washing my brush in between as well. I'm going to go in with a little bit of turquoise, so this is just going to bring a bit of brightness to these darker areas. There were some little bits of turquoise on the image, not a massive amount, so I am just adding a few brush marks on here, and you can see what that's doing is pulling that forwards and pushing those other layers into the background a little bit more. By this point, I was really loving how this image was coming along and thinking I just can't wait to play with the other. So there may be quite a few of these videos heading your way as I'm a bit obsessed with these faces. I think faces for me are something that I absolutely love using in my art journaling. It's such a great way to convey emotion. You can make them say anything you want, really. But it's just a perfect way to bring those feelings into your journaling. Okay, so now that's dry, I've given it a dry. I'm then going to move on to some of the warmer tones. So I've grabbed Sedona to start off with. I'm going to add a bit of Sedona. That was the kind of closest match I could find to start off with. Look at that, it's just brilliant. It's almost like these have been made using using Dina's colours. And a little tip being that if you pull the colour that you're adding onto the collage paper, that will help it then blend. I mean, there will be some places where there's the edge of the collage paper visible, and I don't mind that. For me, the fun is about trying to match the colours and the marks and the way that the image has been created so that it looks like, actually, I'm kind of cheating and I want it to look like I've painted the whole thing. But actually, some of the fun is in trying to I don't know, just kind of mirror the effect that's being created on the image. And also, I guess as well, doing this kind of thing is a great way to kind of practice those skills. So here I'm going in with mustard. I just want to kind of warm that Sedona up a little bit. So I've added some mustard just to bring a bit more warmth, and then I'm just kind of smooshing it around with my finger just to give that a bit of a softer look. I felt that had come too much into the foreground and I wanted it to just kind of disappear a bit more. So it's about just building those layers. So this is Tangelo. So I wanted a pop of that kind of brighter orange. I felt that was on this image as well. And I'm just going to pull that back over the top of some of the mustard that I've added, and just start to kind of build those layers of warmer colours too. And you notice that I'm starting to pull some of those out over the blue layers that I've added, just to help it flow. So next I've grabbed ruby, so I'm just going to add a little bit of ruby over the top just to bring some more of that red forwards and push some of the orange back. So just lots and lots of layers. And look how this is starting to come together. Okay, so then I've grabbed apricot, which is going to be my kind of skin tone at the top. It's a little bit lighter than what's there, but it's going to work okay because I'm going to pull it down a little bit onto the collage image too. So you can see, you know, it works. It's close enough. Then I wanted to add some catch lights into the eyes just to bring those eyes alive. And some little sort of reflections of light onto the lips and the nose, and then just kind of softening those. So then I felt I wanted to add a bit of stenciling, although I really liked my page as it was. I just wanted a little touch of something else on there too. So I've grabbed one of Nat's stencils. I think this one is called Full Hearts, and I'm using raspberry. So I've picked raspberry because it kind of goes with the warm tones that are on the page. This is also one of Nat's stencils with all these lovely phrases on. I've just added some white to the raspberry, and I'm just going to use that because it's a tone that works with what's already there. Not too much paint on my blending tool because I want a nice clean impression of these words, to stencil those onto my page as my text. And then once that's dry, I am then going to outline it using a Signo Uniball in white. So after that, I grabbed a black gel pen and just outlined some of the hearts, not all of them. This is quite a thin gel pen that I've got. And for the life of me, I can never remember what it's called. I think it's a Pilot. Yes, it is. It's a Pilot G-Tech C4. Really nice pen. It's got a lovely fine nib on it. It's quite nice for doing these kind of details on your page. So next I'm going in with a bit of stamping. So this is my dot stamp, Claire's Dots it's called. And I'm just going to add some of those onto the page using some black ink. Also, I'm going in with a bit of text stamping. So now I'm looking to create those kind of mixed media layers as well. Here I'm outlining the letters, which I did mention earlier. This is just to pull those forwards and out of the background. So once I'd got the letters added on, I didn't feel that there was enough contrast on my page. I wanted a bit more white. So using my little hack of scribbling Posca pen onto my glass mat and dipping my stamp in it, I'm going to use my dot stamp just to add some white dots. So I wanted a bit of contrast, not a lot. I thought about splatters, but I didn't want to spoil what was kind of underneath. So some white dots are going to work really nicely. They're quite subtle, but they create that effect that I'm after. And I have to say, I think this is one of my favourite pages that I've made recently. So again, don't forget to clean your stamp after you've used even Posca pen on it because it's still paint. Here I'm just adding a bit of text as well. I mean, you could do the stamping with coloured Posca pens as well if you want to add colour. It's just as easy to do that too. And here it is, the finished page. So you can grab these collage papers from Natalie May's Scrapbooking. Aren't they awesome? Watch out for more of these videos heading your way. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.